Hello. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
And how are you?
All is well. I'm about to introduce you. I'm getting my voice ready before I introduce such greatness onto the show.
Thank you. So we're recording as of right this second.
Yes, we are.
Is this live or is this?
I just start streaming on different streaming platforms, so it takes about 30 seconds, and in about 15 seconds, people will be able to see the feed.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Are you comfortable? You okay? Want me?
Hold on. Wait, you record. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Okay. I can see myself. Okay.
Okay. Good black don't crack. Good brown don't let you down.
You already know what time it is. I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna knock it out. So
that's right. Hey, you know what? I'm a long time friend. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I'm your ride and die. All right.
That's what I need to know.
I got your back. It's hard out here. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, all my global citizens of the world. Right now, I need for you all to pull them devices real close up to you, or if you're listening in your car or your vehicle, just make sure if you're in Georgia that you are truly riding hands-free. You don't even get pulled over. You're going to get all these wonderful gems and C's and jewels later, if that's what you have to do. But for right now, I want you to fix your hearts, your minds, your souls, your energy onto a very divine spirit that's on the planet. And never again in your lifetime will you see such remarkable elegance and inspiring greatness from a melanated queen. I want to tell just a few things. I don't want to tell the whole story because that's why she's here to narrate that wonderful, beautiful tale. This is an Emmy and NAACP award-winning producer and casting director. I mean, this woman makes history every day. Let me stop. That's her story instead of history. This is her story that we're about to get into right now. So I want you to put your hearts, your minds, your souls, your spirit, everything that's in you, put it together. And if you have children, if you're still suffering from the pandemic, come surround the television or the device right now and let your children see that there are great people that's living among you and you never know until the story is being told. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please put your hands, your hearts together for the wonderful, the beautiful, the amazing Christal Ransom. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You know, your very essence on this planet is shedding such beautiful light. As it would say in one particular religious book, which is called the Bible, you know, you are definitely the light of the world, and you definitely are that salt. You give us that taste, that desire, that ingredient that we didn't know that we needed that was missing in our lives. And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate that.
All right, let's jump into a little narrative storytelling. You know, I want to take you back to even back in your timeline, back in your day. Even though you still
a long time ago, back in my day. That was that was a minute ago, but okay.
Okay. You ain't Cicely Tyson yet, okay? You know,
please,
look good.
hey, but I want to be able to be like her, okay? Okay.
You know, I see it. Okay, everything good, everything beautiful. All right. Tell me, where are you originally from? And what was life like growing up for you on that personal experience?
I am originally from Oakland, California. For those who don't know, I'm actually from East Oakland, California. Okay. And so basically I grew up in the 80s and 90s, you know, and so for me, I had an amazing childhood, and when I say amazing, it wasn't perfect, but it was perfect for me because with those experiences that I had, it groomed me to be as some would say, a beast, because I've been through everything, you know. I grew up with a single mom, who was an amazing, strong Black woman, and she was a single parent, and she sacrificed everything for me, everything, you know. And so from that, and my dad was around, so I'm not going to discredit him. He was around, but in terms of in the household, just me and my mom. And so, you know, growing up a single parent, you know, doing the best that she could, you know, she didn't have a lot of money to really, you know, put me in a lot of other things that a lot of other kids may have had, like extracurricular activities or anything like that. So for me, I had to get creative, and I had to, and I've always been a people's person. I always knew a lot of people, always, you know, had a lot of friends, but in terms of being creative, I had to, and being an only child, you know, I learned how to love my own company. And then also I learned how to live through the lives of people on TV. Because at the end of the day, you know, I grew up in the inner city. So when I would see the Cosbys in a different world and different things like that, when I tell you, I literally lived and died for those that life. You know, you had a 2-parent home, you had the kids, you had, you know, a lot of people in my family didn't go to college. So therefore, you know, I saw a different world, which, I mean, oh my God, the sororities, the fraternities, they went away and everything. So it was like, that was my motivation to strive further outside of East Oakland. You know what I'm saying? I knew at that point, and with my mother was a beast in terms of, I don't care what you do, at the end of the day, you have to go to college. It was literally not even an option, you know? And at the time, I mean, I always want to get out the house. You know what I'm saying? So wherever that was, I knew that at the end of the day, as soon as I hit 18, I knew I was out of there. I just didn't know where, but I knew I would leave the house. So for me, like, that was something that I knew no matter what, I had to go to college. So that was my driving force. And, you know, it just went from there. But, you know, growing up in the inner city, East Oakland, California, if anybody knows anything about it, it was, you know, especially in the 90s and the 80s, was super drug infested, you know, everybody that I grew up around, and to be honest with you, even the people I felt comfortable around were street people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
You know, they were street people. That's who I knew. And I didn't even know until I went to college that wasn't necessarily normal, you know, but because that's the environment I grew up in, like, I felt comfortable around those type of people, you know, because if you know people from the Bay Area, we got a certain type of pride that I don't even know if other people even have. The principles and the pride, we will live and die for them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I've had to, being, you know, in entertainment, I've had to balance that because my principles aren't everyone else's, you know, and I can't handle things the way maybe I would have handled them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn as I went along how to play the game.
That's some good stuff right there. See how God has planted you in an environment that was conducive to your growth and your development. You know, like you said such wonderful gems, and you dropped such wonderful seeds that I know that it's going to grow into somebody else's garden in their mind, and it's going to flourish and feed them forever. What you said is so ideal. Seeing the image of yourself, even if it's on that level or greater than yourself, isn't that important for us as melanated people on the planet? Don't get it twisted. We all love the hood movies. We all come from low income, impoverished areas. But isn't it good to see something that's different from you, that tells you, wow, I can have this too. I could be Claire Huxtable or Bill Cosby, whoever you want to be, minus all the other stuff in the real life. But the show, the television, the structure of the family, not letting your children run wild and do whatever they want to because they feel like they're grown. You know how we do. I'm grown. You 12 years old. I'm grown. You know, then your parents got to put you in place and say, you don't want to be out here in this real world. It's hard out here. It look good from your window or your doorstep. When you get in these streets, they can be very treacherous.
Absolutely. And you know what the misconception is that, well, for me, I speak to a lot of young people, and I know growing up in the hood, you know, you really can't see anything outside of the hood. So college or getting an award, an Emmy or anything like that, that was like, what? That was not even heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, people in my family, they're like, some people don't even know what that is. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm not going to sit here and lie to anybody. I was not a straight A student. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I was straight D's, but I was not straight A's. I never won a lottery ticket. There was literally nothing about necessarily my childhood or my life that made me anything special other than the fact that, I mean, me being a special person, me being God's child, that, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of, I try to tell people, it doesn't matter if you go to UCLA, Stanford, because guess what? I'm on the same playing field with these same people. And I went to Fresno State University, okay? And when I say to you, I'm on the same playing field as these people. And a lot of times we are made to believe that if we don't go to these Ivy League schools, if we don't do certain things, that therefore we don't have the same opportunities. Yes, we do. It's what you make it. It's what you make it. But what people don't understand is that, and then taking it back a little bit further, and my mother would tell you this, and people who've been knowing me forever, I never understood why. I don't even care if it was homeless people. I don't care who it was. People would gravitate toward me and they would feel comfortable. This even as a kid. Like I would literally know everybody. My mother would trip out like, literally like, how do you know these people? But I'm like, I don't know. They just gravitate toward me. And I'm talking about the street guys, whoever, they just always like rock with me. And it was more so, I didn't really realize, but it was something that I think I gave them that just wasn't judgmental. I don't care if from the janitor to the receptionist, I don't care. You don't know who somebody is and you can't count anybody out. And I think that that's what I've always kept consistent. I don't care how many shows I work on. I don't care how many awards I get. I don't count anybody out. And some of the best people that I've ever hired have been people that, believe it or not, didn't have a whole lot of experience, but their heart and their drive and their personality was so powerful. People understand. People talk about swag and all these different things, or you can't buy that. That is that's a gift from God that you are given. And so I didn't really realize that my personality would be an asset later on in life with education, but you got to have both. You can't just have book smarts and no social skills. You see what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people who work at these big networks and for these big shows, and they, for instance, Oprah. I know multiple people that have worked at Oprah, and when Oprah finally, she pretty much not canceled, but when she pretty much ended her show, a lot of these people have been at that show for so long that when they got on other shows, they were drowning. You see what I'm saying? And I was surprised, like, you worked at Oprah, oh my God. But it was surprised because I worked with some of those people and they struggled on other shows, So I just think that we have to understand the power is within you. And if you have the drive and you have that confidence, and let me just tell you another thing. A lot of times, assertive women of color get a bad rap. Now, it's the difference between being an assertive and being aggressive. It's a fine line. When I say it's a fine line, but at the end of the day, you got to be assertive and be a brown person in this business. If you're not assertive, you're not going to win, period. Yes. But it has to be balanced. It has to be balanced, Yes. So that has helped me. I don't even know if I answered your question, y'all. But
no, you did. I love it. I'm gonna let you go because I know it's
I keep talking. I'm a producer, so you gotta, this is your show, not mine.
No. This is our show. Because what we teaching right now, we teaching the nation. You're teaching people you would never ever meet, and you will influence them the same way you were taught, same way you learned about MLK, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, whomever, Black Panther Party. This is what you are. I am just an extension of your consciousness, of your existence, of your being, and you do your thing because I'm here to support that. So I love what you're saying. And thank you too for being so transparent, being so vulnerable right now, being so brutally, respectfully, and beautifully honest. It's a beautiful thing. Please continue.
And I appreciate that. When I got into this business, let me tell you a quick story. So when I got into this business, I graduated from Fresno State. I used to work at El Torrio as a cocktail waitress, and I had saved up $900. And when I say I thought that little $900 was $9,000, you know what I'm saying? So I came down to LA. I had my little bucket Honda Civic that my mom bought me, 86. You know what I'm saying? I got it in the 90s, but it was 86 when I got it. You know what I'm saying? And I got this car. It was a stick. People still drive sticks. You know what I'm saying? So it was a stick shift. And I came on down here to LA, and I just knew that I wanted to be a producer. If you even asked me at that time, if you had said, Christal, what do you want to do? Producer. Like, it's steps to being a producer. But I just was like, I want to be a producer, right? Got out here, and a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, her mom allowed me to stay with them in one of their rooms, Christian woman. And she was a blessing while I kind of got my stuff together. Now, mind you, my mother was petrified from her only child to come all the way down to LA, with this hopes of, being in entertainment. But I was like adamant about it, So I got here, long story short, it wasn't what I thought. You know, I thought, you know, the misconception also that people have is that you graduate from college and you immediately get this great job, you're going to be rich. No, that's not the case. So I got down here, and after 6 months, I was ready to throw in the towels on my way back home to live in my mom's bedroom. Okay. So then one day I just said, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna go ahead and reach out to a temp agency, you know, and just try to be an administrative assistant because this ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? And I went and they gave me a job. Actually, I got a job making $20 an hour. And the reason why I have to make it a point, it was that dollar amount, because back then I thought $20 an hour, that was whoo, you know what I'm saying? So I got this job working as an administrative assistant, making $20 an hour. And 2 days before I was supposed to start the job, I got another job opportunity from another temp agency because I was temped out. Okay, I had put my resume at every temp agency in LA. Okay. And so they said, hey, you know, we have an indefinite job. Now, mind you, the one making a $20 an hour job was a permanent job. They offered me a job that was indefinite, working at E Entertainment as a receptionist. Okay. So, but it was making $10 an hour. Now, my mom was a good Christian woman. So I called her. I said, what you think? She said, you know what, pray on it. You know what I'm saying? Which I did. And when I prayed on it, God told me to take the $10 an hour job. Of course, I burnt the bridge down with the other job. Okay. Burnt it down. Okay. But hey, I did what I had to do. I started the job on a Monday at E Entertainment. Everything was going good. I was right at the front desk, you know? And so I was saying hi to everybody. I was greeting the host of the shows, everything, you know? It was a guy, shout out to Brian Unger. Shout out, you changed my life, Brian Unger. But anyway, he was a host of Talk Soup back in the day. And so he would, you know, he was new to the show and he would come and say hi every morning. We would chit chat, you know? And by that Thursday, they told me my last day would be Friday. Okay. Devastated. When I say crying, when I say to you, I was devastated. So I was like, oh my God, I burnt the bridge with the $20 an hour job. The $10 an hour job only lasted for 5 days. What am I going to do? So I'm in the cafeteria. I'm going to speed up the story. I'm in the cafeteria. Brian Unger is actually sitting in the cafeteria eating. And that's like, what are the odds of a host of a show singing in a regular, you know, cafeteria? But anyway, he was there. And I was like, you know, tomorrow's my last day. I just want to say goodbye. He was like, what? What's going on? Why? You know? And I told him, he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a producer. And he was like, well, give me your number right now. Now, mind you, I had a million people at this point tell me that give me your number. They were going to give me a job, and nobody actually followed through, you know? And so I gave him my number. That was like a Friday. On that Sunday, I get a call. And it's an executive from Fox. And she's like, oh, you know, Brian is one of my best friends. You know, he told me great things about you. You know, we're actually starting a new show. I'm going to bring you in for an interview. I'm like, wow, okay. I go in. The show was Divorce Court. It was the beginnings with Judge Maybelline. I didn't even know anything really about court shows. This is like a long time ago. This is like the beginning of the court show era. And she gave me the job. And I was a researcher. They don't have those anymore, but I was a researcher and I did that. And that was the beginning of my career. But the whole point of that story is that sometimes big packages can be in a little bitty box. And if I hadn't taken that $10 an hour job, I would never be here today. So I think, you know, a lot of times that people have to understand is you have to also bet on yourself. You got to bet on yourself. And being in entertainment, I don't care if you're in music or if you're in TV, it's all a risk. Yes. It's all a risk. Nothing is guaranteed. You'll never, I don't care how long you're in it, it's all going to be a hustle. You'll never stop hustling in it. And especially because after 9/11, entertainment completely changed. You had the jobs that were 52 weeks, it was year round, it got cut to 6 months. So you're constantly having to hustle and network to get to the next job. So you have to network, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to do your best to not burn bridges, because once your name is burnt in this industry, it's hard to come back. Now you're going to burn some bridges now. At the end of the day, some things you can't, but you got to really try your best to stay humble and make sure and keep your ego in check. You know, because as you get you know, as you get higher and you climb those ranks, you start feeling yourself, you know, but you got to stay humble and you got to continue to network and keep your name clear so that you can continue to get those good jobs. You can't just let me talk, because I'm a TV producer. I talk to you all day long. Now this is
I don't mind. Let me tell you something. This you're right. This is my show, and we can run as long as you want to. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta take no commercial breaks. We ain't got nobody that's paying us. This is about you. And I thank you so much, because you say something that I often say to people that's here, because you know I'm in Georgia, in Atlanta, and you know Atlanta is considered, you know, the other version of Hollywood. Some people call it Black Hollywood. Some people say no, it's just a little smaller bite of Hollywood. And you got a lot of those people that's doing those things that you're talking about now. Everyone is moving here. You know, the population from I think 1998 until now, I might be off a little bit, but it's like somewhere around 2 million people have moved here. Now keep in mind, Atlanta is only the city size, the actual downtown, is only as big as like Manhattan and New York. And you're talking about 3-4 million people moving in the area, whether it's be downtown, around the outskirts of it. Traffic is getting extremely heavy. A lot of movies are being produced and made here, but they think that they're going to just come here and everything is going to work out for them. And they think, and there's nothing wrong with having faith. Like you said, faith is great, but they come here and people do all of the wild and crazy things. And it's like, you got to, like you said, you got to stop and think for a moment. It's cool to move here, but what are you going to do when you get here? You have to have some type of plan, even if the plan gets thrown out the window. You just, like you said, you just can't expect to move somewhere and think everything is going to happen to you, or because of the city where you come from that's smaller, you might be that it factor there, but you might get to Atlanta and it's 1,000 other people that look and sound and like you.
It's an ego. I mean, it's an ego blow. You know what I'm saying? When you come from a situation where you're that person, you're that star, and you have to come and start all over. You know how many people that came here when I came and that are gone? I would say 70%. 70% couldn't take it. It was just too much. It was, you know, and I take my hat off to actors and actresses and people who have that talent, because they will bust tables. I know people that have been here for 20 years and still haven't made it. And if you talk to them, I'm gonna be an actor. They still have that same passion, which is a blessing. You see what I'm saying? But you have to have a backup to the backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. Entertainment is the hardest. You know, a lot of my family, they're like, oh my God, like, how do you do it? You know what I mean? But at this point, I don't know anything different, but it is definitely by far one of the most challenging careers you can ever have, because it's always changing. It's so unpredictable that you can't even believe it. It can be very cutthroat depending on the environment that you're in, you know, so.
Now, speaking of very cutthroat environment that you're in, we know that you are a super dope, I mean, you know, Emmy and NAACP award-winning producer and casting director. Speak to us about a casting director, because I know, like we were saying earlier, Atlanta is like the younger version of the Hollywood LA scene that's going on. And a lot of people are getting roles in certain things like Tyler Perry shows as, you know, as extras, no speaking roles, things of that nature. What do you all look for what do you look for when you're casting for certain roles? What can an actor do, a young actor, or even like you said, someone that's got a little bit more season on them? What can they do to catch your eye when they're trying to apply for a role?
That is a good question. For me, beyond the look, obviously you have to have a look that stands out. You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be somebody that stands out. But separate from that, you got to know how to tell a story. A lot of people don't know how to tell a story. You know how many times I've talked to somebody and they can't even tell me their own story? They can't tell it in a way that's captivating. You know, to me, a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like when you tell me the story, I want to feel like I was there when it happened. You know, and that's why comedians and people like that are so great, because they paint the picture. We call it painting the picture. I'm looking for someone that knows how to paint the picture in a very authentic way. I've casted so many people. I'm casting a show right now, and the hard part about dealing with actors is that they're always acting. I personally, it's hard for me with the actors, because I can't, like, I need somebody that I think the problem when you're an actor, you feel like you have to overdo it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
The reason why Denzel was so great in Training Day is because he was so, oh, you know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like he was acting. It felt authentic. It felt authentic. And so for me, I'm looking for an authentic person. I'm looking for someone that is captivating when they tell a story. I'm looking for someone with a look. The problem is that we're in a culture where everybody's starting to look the same. They got the long weave, they got the overdrawn eyelashes, they got, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is looking the same. I want somebody that stands out, that look different, you know, have their own style, whatever that is. So I'm looking for somebody who knows how to tell a story in a way that they can paint the picture, someone that is transparent, and someone that is relatable. That's what I'm looking for. When I saw Cardi B, it was so funny. I was having a debate with some friends, and the first episode of Cardi B was on Love and Hip Hop. She was a lot, you know, but I said, she's going to be a star. And the reason why I knew she was going to be a star, because she was just authentic. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people that go on there that is authentic, but she was authentic into the point to where she just did. I knew she wanted it. I knew she wanted it. I know she was eager. I knew she was hungry. Those are the type of people that are the stars. Everybody's not a star. Everybody is not a star. Everybody is not a Beyonce. Everybody's not a Jay-Z, you know? And it has to, and the reason why they're stars is because even though they work hard, they practice, but it doesn't seem like that when they're delivering. It seems effortless. And that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for a star that is so authentic, it's effortless.
That's good. For those of you all that are listening, you better take notes of this. And I had a conversation with someone the other day about the same thing. When did the narrative change? Because you, like you say, you are an 80s baby, you know, 90s child, young adult in the 2000s. Do you remember there was a time where authenticity and to be original and to stand out used to be the thing, especially like we say, like in music, for example, let's say like hip hop. Whether you're looking at 80s, 90s, or early 2000s hip hop, you knew who was on what track either by their beats, by the content of the, you know, title of the song, or even by the album. It just, when it came on, you knew it was Outkast, you knew it was Tupac, you knew it was Wu-Tang. You know, you just knew the essence of the feel that you were going to get. And then for some reason, all of that uniqueness changed and it became into this oneness. So now you hear a lot of the music, even R&B, it's the same old thing repackaged with auto-tune. And no disrespect to auto-tune, because, you know, the great legendary, you know, Zap, you know, he did that, Roger, you know, he's doing his computer love thing. But now it's like everybody is using the same cadence, the same tunes. And it's like, am I still listening to the same song 8 hours later as I'm riding through?
I think for me, I'm a music head. I think for me, and this is even when I'm hiring people, this is also even when I'm casting, I'm learning that, and maybe I'm just getting older. I think some of that is involved also. I think people, and I need to watch what I say, but I think the culture, I think a lot of people I think people are simple-minded. And I think before, you know, and think about it, nowadays, I mean, I know growing up, I was working at 13, 14 little summer jobs. I was doing, like, I was figuring it out. I was doing something. Nowadays, you can just go on the internet and become a millionaire.
Yes.
Literally. These girls are starting off at 17, 18 years old, and they are whole full internet models by the time they're out of high school and they're making a lot of money. The same thing. Now, these kids can throw on a little song on, and then it, you know, because everything is streamed now, throw a little song and everything. So I think that, you know, like is it called drill music now or whatever? Like, I don't even know what it's called. That's how outdated I am. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the depth is not there anymore. Like back in the day, you know, the songs, the Teddy Pendergraphs, the Anita Bakers, all of those songs spoke to your soul. You know, like they were telling a story. I don't really feel like these songs and this music they're really telling stories. You know, and it's almost the same thing. Like I need to be able to go on that ride with you. and feel like I'm involved in this story. You know what I'm saying? Half of the music, I can't even understand what they're saying, especially the rap music. You know, they have this new style of rapping that I can even barely understand. But again, it's back to just that people are a lot more simple-minded. And I think that the world of social media, and even now when I interview people, I have had multiple people that I've interviewed, they don't even like talking on the phone. Now, how are we going to cast a show when you don't even want to talk to these people? You only want to text, or you only want to, like, you have to connect with people. Yes. People aren't connecting anymore. People aren't even, like internet dating. Everything is so disconnected. Nothing is like authentic anymore. That's why I stopped going out a long time ago, because people don't even dance. Back in the day, people dance, people slow dance. All of that is gone. All of that is gone. So I just think with the culture, I just think that, that I don't know, it's just like, that's a hard one. Because, without being too judgmental, I just think that it's a lot going on. A lot of things are more accepted than when I grew up. And so I just think anything goes. Anything goes now. And so you can go, literally. I mean, some of the music that I listen to, I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't know what they're saying, And then also, what is it called? Like the syrup or whatever they drink, the lean or whatever, they drink this. So I hear, and it's like this new music that they're creating, because it is hard. All I know is a lot going on, and a lot of people are getting these deals, and a lot of people are becoming stars and having to put the minimal work in it. And I just think the work ethic is gone. It's not the way it used to be.
No, you're right. I agree. You can move from that, because I like saying I won't get you in trouble with anyone, but you're absolutely right. If I may tap in with that, I'm like a wrestler. You're absolutely right. I see it now. Even it's spewed over into social media. For a perfect example, people are really taking these reality shows to be real. And I know it's had somewhat of a script to it, and then I get it, but it's really entertainment. But some people are taking that and they're modeling their lives after it. And what's the good and the bad parts of that? You'll have people like you spoke of. You live in Oakland, West Coast. You'll have people that may live in Germany that's not around many Black people, or Italy or somewhere, and they think that all of us are like that. So when they come to like Atlanta, they thinking we're going to be throwing bottles at each other. You're going to be hearing the B word, and brothers are going to be, doing the most on camera. And that's kind of like the downfall of, of entertainment, in my opinion. It creates a narrative of a story of a people that, we have a small population that's like that, but everybody is not ratchet. Like you said, even if you come from the hood. So I understand what you're saying.
Well, I think ratchet is now a new style.
Yes.
I mean, with the long nails, look at these girls, the long nails, the extra long hair, the extra long, everything is exaggerated, and being loud and just a slang and everything like that. And so, like you said, and I'm so glad you tapped into the fact that people are watching shows and watching and even now, like with Bad Girls Club and all these different shows, girls are fighting, and now it's making it, now it's okay to be super aggressive as a woman. You see what I'm saying? Or now being a side piece. A side piece is a new thing. Like, so it's okay to be a side piece? Like you're embracing being a side piece? So these people, like you said, are taking TV and they're making it, oh, it's a new person coming on.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You was talking.
No.
Sorry about that. That's my co-host. She was a little late, but
no problem.
Please continue though.
No. What I'm saying is that they are definitely taking TV and I'm not saying all of this. Hello. I'm not saying that everything on TV is not real, because that's not true. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that they're taking this and now they're making this. We're being pegged as if this is how we act and this is who we are, and everybody is not like that. And it really is, even for myself, when I was in the dating process, like, I mean, they're so on guard because of what the Black woman now, how she's being represented, they're on guard, you know. And now being in LA, being honest with you, I mean, I personally have guy friends who do not date women of color. Period. Period. They do not. They do not. And you know, it used to bother me, but then when I would see some of the examples, I'm like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's definitely has changed the culture, and it changes how people view us. And it also changes even when we go and apply for a job, how they already got their guards up. They already got their guards up. You see what I'm saying? Just based on, you know, how a lot of us are representing ourselves. We're not all representing ourselves like that, but the new culture is definitely just different than how I grew up. Hello, Queen.
Son, come on and introduce yourself. This is Christal Ransom. She is an Emmy and NAACP award-winning producer and casting director. She gave some lot of great knowledge earlier. I know you want to like get your start in movies and film. This is definitely the icon, the young legend herself, who has dropped a lot of good games. So come on and introduce yourself.
Yes, you can hear me. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Shannon. People call me S Hunt. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur. I make clothes. I do a little acting. I'm a writer. I'm a YouTuber. And yeah, I do this my celebrity life with Ge Holla. And I get to meet amazing people like yourself.
Likewise. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of both of you guys, because it's one thing to talk about something and it's another thing to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very intimidating, very scary to actually try something outside of the box and actually do it. That's why I respect people that are entrepreneurs, that are doing stuff in their own. Even for myself, I get scared sometimes. I'm like, oh, you know, I produce all these TV shows for everybody else, you know? And then it's like, when it comes down to doing it for yourself, you're like, yeah, you're scared. But you're like, but I've been doing this for 20 years for everybody else. Why not do it for myself? You know? So I'm actually even being inspired by even talking to you guys about just really stepping outside my box. You know, because I still have a lot of things that I have hurdles that I need to get past, you know, because I'm in, you know, I'm, you know, I've been around for a minute, you know, but I'm constantly having to stay up to date on what's going on. Like social media. My little cousin told me, Christal, your social media is lame. You're right. I don't even know how to do it. Like, I mean, like, it's a whole job. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a picture, you gotta make sure the picture look good. Then you got to, you know, so you got to write the right caption. You got to hashtag. Then you got to do it at certain times of the day. And then I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. But in order to be relevant, I got to have one. I got to have one. So I'm learning. So anyway.
No, you're right though. What you're saying is fundamentally true. You know, social media, it has put almost all of us on the same wave, on the same level, so to speak. And like you were saying earlier, you can have somebody that's brand new to social media, and you know how it is when you're like 18, 19, 20, everybody gonna follow everybody because you just got out of high school with one another, or you're all in college or doing something. So you can build a massive force of what we call followers that could be right there to help support and make you look like you're doing something versus, like you said earlier, actually moving into business. And when we're speaking of Atlanta, I know people who have like 60, 70,000 followers. And the thing is, they don't understand the business yet because they're not making money off of those followers. They look like they're popping online, but in real life, like you said, they're just living basic. They're going trying to get a job to work a 9 to 5. So that's what social media has done, like for all of us, really, to be honest.
I'm so glad you tapped into that, because I know people personally. And I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, why does everybody on social media look so rich? Like, literally, I've been working 20 years and I don't have a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I don't have, you know, they have all these, I mean, the labels. And again, I have some things, but if I spent my money on those things all the time, I would be broke. So the misconception is that this is reality. And that is not reality. That is not reality. Half of those people do not have what they have. Half of those people are going for broke to look the part. You know what I'm saying? And then people like us who really are doing our best. Like I said, my little cousin told me I was lame because but I'm like, I'm working to the bone. You know what I'm saying? You know? So it's just crazy. So that's the difference, that it's like everything is an illusion.
And you know what else too, Christal? You know, like back in the day, how they used to sell, the tapes and the CDs out of the trunk.
I still got my tapes though.
They're gonna be collectible one day. You know, hold on to them.
And my pager.
And if you got some 4.5s from your parents or your grandparents, or some albums from your parents, keep those too, because one day them things are gonna be worth a lot of money. Well, now with social media, like how they used to inflate the numbers, like a lot of, because you mentioned Jay-Z and them earlier. Back in the day, they used to buy a lot of the albums. That's how they were able to get that, that platinum marker or that gold marker.
So they would buy their own albums.
Yes, there was a technique they would do. It's mentally to stimulate people to make you go buy it. Because everybody want to be around the popular, the cool kids. When you are popping, when you are shining, and you got that Bentley, but people don't know that you have it on lease or that you're renting it or you're hiding it from the...
repossessed. Any second it could be repossessed. Any second it could go.
That's right. That's why they're constantly looking back at it. Not to be stolen by a regular person with the repo man.
Right.
Well, check this out, Christal. What they could do now is you can buy followers, you can buy likes, you can buy comments, you can buy views. You can literally take, if you have an excess of $2,000, you can put yourself to a level where it looks like you're doing it.
Wow.
And people then will get behind you when they see that you're around certain people. Like for myself, we're a media outlet with my celebrity life, and I get a chance to meet a lot of people, and I get a chance to take pictures. They'll send me shout outs. I get drops from them. And automatically, a lot of folks will think that you got millions of dollars. I can speak for myself, just because you are around certain people. Well, I'm considered a media outlet. I get free invites, to go to these places to take pictures with these people. And I only take the pictures because I used to didn't take them. I'm just matching up what you said until my mother told me a few years ago. She was like, well, be in the picture sometime too, so people will know that, you're not lying, that you was actually there. So when I started doing that, I started getting another essence of people that I've never seen before. The same people I'm standing right next to at the mall or in the club. Now they're throwing their arms around with me, taking pictures of me, posting on their social media. And I'm like, is this all that it takes?
Yeah.
For me to stand next to Christal Ransom?
Same people, let me tell you something, because I have been around celebrities and it's not all that. That's what people don't know. It's not all that. And, people, I've seen people literally that will do anything. You know what I'm saying? Literally. I don't love it. I don't love entertainment like that, to where I would do anything. They will do anything to be in these circles. They will do anything for that clout, And I'm just not there, and I'm sure I could be much further if I was willing to do that, but I'm not willing to do that. But I know what you're saying as far as taking pictures. It's like, I've been feeling like, because I don't want to be like all those other people that are fighting for the attention, but you got to have some receipts. You got to have receipts, because if you don't have receipts, you're just talking. But this is the thing. What were we doing before social media? What were we doing? Like, were we on MySpace? Like, I don't even remember. Like, how were we even? Somebody asked me the other day, how were you guys producing shows back like in the early 2000s? Were we in Yellow Pages? I don't even remember how we were getting these people. You know what it was? We were out. That's the difference. We were out guerrilla style. We was on the streets. We was going knocking on doors and putting flyers on cars. We were doing that. We were actually doing the work. And in order to do the work, you can't be lazy. You got to be assertive. Now, people could just click away. They don't have to do all of that. And do you know how hard it is staffing up and trying to find people that have that same A lot of people don't have it. They're not built like that. They're not built. And think about it. When was the last time you saw a kid playing outside? I had to be outside as soon as that sun go. My mother say it is not healthy for you to be in the house. I'm like, how is it not healthy for you to be in the house? But that actually gave me my street smarts and how to. Me and my little cousins, like we kind of grew up like sisters. We were walking everywhere like 9 and 10 years old. I have friends that's literally scared to let their kids go outside now. So again, all of those things built character. All of those things built strength. So a lot of these people, I'm not saying there's no strong people, there's not anything like that. But what I'm saying, there's a huge lack of it. And it's hindering a lot of other things in terms of, especially like for that's the biggest, hardest thing for me as a casting director is staffing. Finding people who are hungry, finding people who are willing to work hard, finding people who have social skills. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the hard, finding a guest is not the problem. Finding a staff person, an employee is the hard part. So for me.
No, I get it. I understand. So what I'm gonna do right now, S Hunt, I'm gonna give you a few minutes with Christal. Like I say, she is a casting director for different shows and movies and things of that nature. You want to get into the business? Let's see if you can sell yourself. Right now, you get a chance to go one-on-one. You know, she said she's looking for a person that knows how to tell a good story to captivate her. So let's do this for 2 minutes. S Hunt, set your clock. You know, it's 3:47. You know, we can do about 3:50 our time because we're on the East Coast. I want you to sell yourself to Christal. Let her know how passionate you are about being in movies and TV shows. You got the lady right here. So what you got? You got to step up to the plate.
Go.
Okay, so you definitely just put me on the spot and made me a little nervous because I already knew what I was gonna say, but now I have so much pressure on me. But honestly, I just love to work. I don't like to, I do not, well, let me be honest. I don't do anything all day besides be in the house. So all my businesses are home-based. I never get to go outside. I do weight gain syrup and I sell that from the house. Now UPS, actually, I just found out that they come to your house on their mail route and pick up your mail that you can ship off, which is amazing. Now I really don't have to go outside because all I do is ship stuff out. But when it comes to acting, I'm just now getting into that. I kind of like it because I feel like I have a lot of emotions. I do, and a lot of faces, so.
Let me tell you something. Your personality off the top captivated me. You know what I'm saying? And you have to, it's just like with anything else, a movie or anything else, if it's not popping in the beginning, I'm turning the channel. So off the top, you came swinging. You see what I'm saying? And I got a little bit about you in a short period of time, but it was still captivating. Like I felt your energy. So to me, when I'm looking for somebody to cast, I'm looking for exactly that. I'm looking for someone who has the energy, who's not lazy, who's not, I mean, we're all scared. Look, I'm nervous right now, y'all. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you got one shot. You got one shot. You know how often I get people and I'm like, and for me, I try to be as relatable as possible. So I'm not coming at you. So hi, how are you doing? We're going to talk just like we're friends because I want you to let down your guard. I want you to be comfortable, you know, because I think you're going to be at your best if you feel comfortable. But when casting, I don't have a whole lot of time. Okay. So I may talk to you on a Tuesday, but I may need to have you on set by Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So you don't have a whole lot of time. And guess what? I have about 50 other people that have big personalities. So you have to come in, like I told him before, as authentic as possible. And the misconception about, like I told him before you got on, about actors and actresses is that they feel like they have to act. No, you have to have personality. Personality, like this happened to me years ago, which is crazy. I was devastated. I was working on this show and I had this couple and they were phenomenal on the phone. Phenomenal. They get to the show and I mean, they came from theater. Okay. So theater, it is more exaggerated. They were so extra that they stopped down the whole show, pulled them this. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I had to take that one to the chin just because at the end of the day, I'm the one that, you know, I chose them. Yeah. But I think their biggest thing wasn't that they couldn't talk. It wasn't that they didn't look good. It was that they were so extra. And when that camera got on them, they felt like they had to be, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're not in person, you can't tell people's body language. Obviously, we have Zoom now. We can, you know what I'm saying? But up until that point, we don't have that. So the best advice I can give you is that be authentic, and also paint the picture when you tell a story. Right. For instance, if I say, so tell me about yourself, or how did you grow up? You know, there's two different ways. I grew up in New York, and yeah, I had a good life. Versus, oh my God, I grew up in New York my entire life. You know, I grew up with my mom, my dad, and my brother, and everything was great. You know, my mom was a single mom, so I used to always have to help with my brother. You're elaborating.
Yes.
A story is when you're elaborating and you're telling the story and you're painting the picture. So casting producers, we're looking for people who know how to tell a story in a captivating way and then know how to paint the picture. If you can do those three things, you're winning. I would say 80% of people don't know how to tell a story. They just don't. And they think they do. And 80% of people don't know how to tell their own story. I don't know. It's hard talking about yourself. And I think some people get so caught up in overthinking stuff. You just got to go in swinging because you only have one shot.
Right.
You only have one shot. Another thing, let me tell you another thing. But people understand this. I get so many people that want to be on TV and they get on Zoom or they get on these casting, they come to these casting calls and they're like they just rolled out of bed. Right. Come on now. You want to be on TV. You have an opportunity to be on TV with a casting director and they're trying to give you a chance and you come in here looking crazy. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing. Be aware of what you're doing and understanding that these opportunities are limited. These opportunities are limited for people of color. You see what I'm saying? So take that opportunity and run with it. You got to run with it. I am always looking for new people. I'm always looking for new talent, depending on the project that I'm working on. I would love to, talk with you more and see if, what you're into. I'm not playing. Like I'm always looking, like I'm looking for people right now, actually, for the project that I'm doing. But again, just so you know, when you have 50 people that are auditioning for the same project, like I had another story. One of my good friends, he's an actor, and he has this big, crazy fro. And I used to be like, why does he do that? But he always gets casted. He always gets casted because he stands out off the top.
Right.
So you got to have something that's a little different because at the end of the day, your look is going to stand out first. Before we even hear what you have to say, I got to have a picture. I got to see what you look like. So the biggest issue is that, like I have somebody that we're trying to cast right now. He look crazy. But let me tell you, I haven't even heard his story yet, but he looks so crazy. I got to talk to him. And when I say crazy, not crazy in a bad way. He just looks like a star. He looks like somebody, like I want to know more about you. I want to know more. Who are you? He has orange hair. He has, he just stands out. So sometimes you just gotta like play with it a little bit. And at the end of the day, we can always change a look, But in terms of standing out, if you're standing like in LA, where are you located?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. In LA, you will see literally, the pandemic, before the pandemic, you will see literally lines and lines of people around the corner waiting for or going to a casting call, And it's like, they have to understand probably only 2 or 3 of those people are going to get chosen. You see? But more than likely, when I go out there and I choose somebody, it's going to be whoever that is that stand out first. That's going to even get them to that's going to be the icebreaker for me to even have a conversation with them. Right. Stand out. A lot of times now, a lot of people are looking the same. We got this long weave or long wig. I know in LA, long weave, long wig, long eyelashes. And everybody looks identical. We're starting to look the same because that's the trend. That's the look now. You see what I'm saying? So if I was going to a casting call and I know that the majority of people are going to have that look, I'm probably going to do short hair and something different. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're going to blend in with everybody else and you're going to get overlooked.
You got me writing everything down. I'm taking notes.
Oh, no. Listen, I need to be, because I'm only talking about, and even me, I used to, before I cut my hair off, I used to look the same too. When I look at my pictures, long hair, I look the same too, but I realized, even for my own self, I have to do things that separate myself from the rest also, because before they find out about that Emmy and everything else, no matter how many Emmys I have, if my personality doesn't stand out, that doesn't guarantee me a job.
Right.
It's about me when I get that interview. It's about me being authentic in a professional way and captivating them so they remember me.
Okay. There was something you said earlier about not being lazy that I really liked, because I honestly went through a stage before I moved out here, I was just like drinking. Then I started drinking wine and I got to calm down. And then I moved to Atlanta and there's no more, it's not my wine. There's no Moscato Life. There's no what I only drink. So I'm really upset about that. But I had like a Capricorn the other day and I've been working so hard for my restock tomorrow. So I've been making all types of outfits and doing all types of crazy stuff. And I had a drink, one drink. And I slept the whole entire day. And I was so mad at myself. Like
Devastated.
I had so much stuff to do. And it was just like that one drink that I really didn't even need. Like I was really just staring at it. Like, I don't even want it, but let me take it. And then I was like, maybe drinking is not in me no more. And because it made me so lazy. And I'm not a lazy person. I got so much energy. Like, so I was just like, you know what? When you said not to be lazy, it kind of stuck out to me. Like, yeah.
Now I do like wine. But I had to learn that because it makes me tired too. But I had to learn that I have to end my day with that, not beginning. Because if I want to do something, I know me. Once I lay down and I take that glass, and you only have a certain amount of time in the day, especially working in casting. If we're dealing with people on the East Coast or whatever, that means I have to be up super early to be able to make sure that I am able to get to the certain people that I need to get to. So I cannot begin my day with something that is going to make me tired, even though I would love to end my day with a nice glass of wine after I've been stressed out all day. But I just know my body and who I am. That deflates me. You see what I'm saying? So a glass of coffee, though, I could change the world with a glass of coffee. You know what I'm saying? I have wings, but even with that, I have to balance it because sometimes I could just be so all over the place. I still can't get done. So everything needs balance, and for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, even before I did this interview, I was like, maybe I need a glass of wine. I'm nervous, But then I knew that I wanted to be super clear-minded when having this interview, So no, it's, we have our lazy days. We have our days where I don't feel as confident as I should, just because you get in your head, you start thinking, and that's the other thing with social media, just to tap in. A lot of times, even for myself, I have to balance social media because we'll start looking at other people's lives and putting pressure on ourselves because we may not have what they have or what it looks like they have. And I think it's a lot of that going along. It's a lot of pressure because we're looking at other people's lives and feel like we should be doing that or we should have that. But you don't even know, that may not even be real.
That's something that I'm glad you brought that up because when it comes to me and I feel like I'm getting jealous of somebody, even if it's on Facebook, I wouldn't unfriend them, but I'll unfollow them. I don't want to see because I don't want to feel that hatred or that jealousy.
And anxiety, it builds anxiety for yourself and it makes you second guess what you're doing. And you can't do that.
Not at all.
Especially being an entrepreneur, you don't have no time for that.
Not at all. It was great speaking with you.
Oh, you're amazing. I love you guys. You guys are super cool. Like, whew, I'm so glad because I didn't know what to expect. I'm gonna be honest with you. People think that I am just this big personality. I'm gonna be honest. I'm super shy, y'all. I'm super shy. That's why I'm behind the scene. I am behind the scene, tucked, for a reason. But now I'm like, you know what? My cousin said I'm lame. Let me start talking and actually trying to spread the love and plant the seeds in other people. Because at the end of the day, I wish I had somebody that could have mentored me on how to do this. I bumped my head. I've been in the game for a long time. The misconception is that people think that things are overnight. There is nothing overnight. I've been doing this for 18 years. 18 years, and so people have to understand things take time. You cannot give up. The moment you're ready to give up is the moment it's gonna pop. Don't. That's the test from God. He want to see how much you can take. And the moment you throw in the towels, the moment it's gonna hit it.
That's right. You're absolutely right. I agree to that too. And like you said, sometimes you have to make your own way. That's why now your interview will be the first interview that I created my own streaming platform like Netflix that it'll be airing on. So once I edited it.
Don't gas me up now. Don't gas me up. Gas me up.
I'm serious. I just built this streaming platform and we're doing very well on Roku. Got over 500,000 views and streams and like that. So I'm definitely gonna put you on there and I'm gonna put you on our own streaming platform because you are just a dope and amazing person. And I just want to do this briefly if I may, because I know we can't hold you up all day long. I enjoy having you here. Let me take this background off for just 1 second. I want to look at your social media for a second. I'm going to tell you are popping.
Come on now. It's lame.
You are a You are a gorgeous Black woman. No offense to your partner, but
You're
you
so
know, look at this, y'all.
so much.
Look at this.
I'm trying to get the selfie game down.
It doesn't look lame.
Y'all.
It does not look lame.
I gotta do. I switch up on y'all a little bit. I got a little something, a little different every time. You never know what you're gonna get with me. You know.
That's right. This lady is beautiful, man. You don't look like you're over the age of 19, right? This is like a high school Olin Mills.
God is good.
Photography. Look at this, y'all.
Listen, when my knees are cracking, y'all. My knees are cracking. Guess what?
But your black ain't cracking though. Ain't no crack nowhere. We are. Look at that. Beautiful smile. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
What's that song they had back in the day? They can't be all California girls.
Thank you guys. You guys are so cool. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. I do want to ask you a few more questions. I find that a lot of actors don't watch their own movies. A lot of the greats, like you were talking about, I don't know if Denzel Washington said, I can't remember who said it, but one actor in particular said he never watched himself because it's hard to look at himself acting. Do you watch any of the shows that you have produced or casted for? Do you sit down and watch those shows?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. You're trying to get me in trouble, okay?
No, I'm not. We can pass. We can pass. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No. Honestly, I do because I will at least watch the first one for sure. After that, because I know the story, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely do support my own projects. Now, I don't know if this podcast thing, and it's gonna be hard for me to watch myself because I'm scared, I'm petrified. Because I don't want to be, I'm a casting producer. So I'm like, I look at TV different than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I look at it totally different. But with that being said, I look at, a lot of the things that, I do.
That's cool. How does a person, after they see this interview and they're interested in sending you their casting information as far as like their headshots and bios and things, how do they do that? How do they go about doing that?
You can follow me on Instagram, Christal_Ransom, and I check my DMs. And I definitely make sure that I answer everybody that reaches out to me, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be that person, and you never know. I'm always looking for the next star. So I embrace it. I'm always looking for new people. I'm always doing different projects, and I'm always, there's never enough people. There's never enough people. So I'm always looking for new people. And I need your information too, Miss Queen. I need yours too.
I already followed you in like 4 pictures.
I'm getting my numbers up. I'm getting my numbers up. So I appreciate that. I'll make sure I follow you back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I followed you too. I got a couple more pages we'll follow, and I'll put your Instagram inside of this video too, so people can see you.
In the world, y'all.
Yeah, we down with you. We understand how hard it is, So I just wanted to always tell you. First, I'm gonna give you your flowers, and then I got a couple more things. I want to tell you thank you, not for just doing this interview, but thank you too as well for giving S. Hunt some knowledge and game, as well as others that are out there, whether they be younger or older, because we both know anybody can make it in this industry despite age, because that has kind of somewhat transitioned away a little bit. And also, thank you for coming to this earth. You suffered a lot in your life. You had a lot of personal battles, mental issues that we don't know about, that you have struggled with. And you did all of that this whole time by helping, your brother and your sister on this planet. And you are a really remarkable being. We know that you are the light of the world because, God, or whatever you may believe in, put you here to help others to see the light so they won't be running around in the dark. And on behalf of all those people that you'll never hear their voices to tell you thank you, I just want to speak for them on their behalf and just tell you thank you for all that you've done for everyone.
Oh, you guys are amazing. And listen, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys, because we need people like you to give us, people like myself, some light, So I appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to keep doing this, keep blessing us, keep blessing the community, and I love the fact that it's a Black man and a Black woman coming together and doing some great things together. So continue that. I appreciate you guys. Seriously. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. Before you go, the name of the show is called My Celebrity Life, and I'm Ge Holla. If I didn't say it in the beginning,
Holla.
and that's S Hunt. Could you give us a wonderful drop or little advertisement so we can play on the show and people can see, oh, Krista Ransom was on the show. So like I said, the name of the show is called My Celebrity Life. I'm Ge Holla, and that's S Hunt. If you don't mind, I really appreciate you.
Shout out to My Celebrity Life, Ge Holla, S Hunt. You guys are the bomb. You guys are the business. Make sure you follow them. Check them out. My Celebrity Life.
Wait, thank you so much. And one thing left, I'm gonna play a game with you before we go. All right, let's get ready. It's called the Game of Sevens. I done played this with super famous people, everybody. It doesn't matter. We all on the same level in my mind. God, we all when we get buried, all our caskets are generally the same size.
They're typically the same size.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? You getting buried with that dirt thrown on top of you. Don't care how big your mausoleum is on top. You're still in a small grave in a box.
Right.
If you don't get cremated in a jar. All right. The Game of Sevens, Krista Ransom, because you come from Oakland, the home of the Black Panthers, and we know that's why they destabilized Oakland the way that they did, because them Black Panthers was doing some really great work back in the day in the 60s and 70s. People don't be fooled. Black Panthers were not some domestic terrorist group at all. They were just fighting for their people to keep the knowledge and the wisdom, the understanding of ancient things that has been on this planet since forever. So, Krista Ransom, we're going to take the number 7. The number 7 is a very divine and holy and spiritual number throughout everything. I can give you a few examples. If you say, oh, I do know, I don't know, it doesn't matter. We're going to build right now on top of this 7. We know, speaking of building, when you say right angles, everything in life was built off of right angles, especially buildings. A right angle is nothing more than a number 7 turned this way. As you see it this way or this way, it's a right angle. Everything was built off a corner. Even notice that when you're in the building, it's always a right angle to the building. A house, it doesn't matter. Now, if you take that right angle, if you flip it, like I was saying, it turns to number 7. Or if you flip it this way, it could be the love sign. Or for you, when you and your family member was trying to call you lame or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the number 7 right now. With the number 7, we also know when we study the alphabet, it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's the 7th letter of the alphabet. And why is it G? Some people say it could be for God, for the men. Some people have told me that it's spiritual. It is goddess for the ladies. And some brothers I know that's part of secret society, it is grand architect or the great architect. Also, we know back in the day, if you had a grandmother that played lotto, what if she tell you, go to the store, get me the number 7 lotto scratch off? Or if you're from the hood, like in the South, before they had the lottery, it was called the bug. You see the element of that in the Malcolm X movie when they were playing, like running the numbers and things like that. So we got a few examples there. And we know from our religious people out there that study into Christianity, we know that God said he rested on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath. Some people say their 7th day of the Sabbath is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and somebody just told me theirs is Monday. I don't really think it matters. It's the Sabbath day. Now we got all of that collectively stuffed together. Krista Ransom, we're going to stamp you with the powers of the 7. And with that being, because we can use a Bible verse to back this up, we can say in the Bible, it says by Jesus, is it not written in ye law, for ye are all gods? And if you're all gods and all children of the Most High, you got the power of God. You have to choose 7 people in history that you can either resurrect or they could be living, because we are going on a Krista Ransom world tour casting director. I want to know what 7 people throughout all the time would you cast for your shows and movies? Living or dead?
Pop. Number 1. I have Pop. Number 2, I would say people hate on him. Give me Michael Jackson. Give me Mike. Give me Mike. I don't care what nobody say. Give me Mike. Whitney Houston. These people will speak to my soul. So we had 3, right? Let me get. I need Malcolm X. Give me Malcolm. Give me Malcolm. He got it done. I need Richard Pryor back. I need Richard back. Give me Red Fox. Give me Red Fox. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Give me Red Fox. And then I want to just cater to the men. Hit me with a little bit of Ooh, we, that's 7. I need Nipsey.
Okay.
Give me Nipsey.
That's
I
gonna be
could work with those. I could work with those.
That's gonna be a bomb show right there. Thank you so much, Queen, for being on the planet, on the earth, coming to existence. I followed you too as well. So thank you for all that you've done. And you are really amazing. Please stay upon your square. Never forget that. Square is nothing more than this. This is the strongest structure on earth. And you take 2 sevens and put them together, you create what we would call the diamond or the pyramid or the triangle. Or even if you start taking those angles and you make it into a square, you can do that too as well, which is some of the strongest structures that we're talking about on the planet. Always stay firm in who you are. We believe in you. It's nothing but love. We double tap on the heart and we salute the Queen this afternoon. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for having me, you guys.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, y'all, that is it. We're about to be about this thing and what we do about this time. S. Hunt, give us your information before we get up out of here.
Yes, my Facebook is Shannon Hunt. My YouTube is Shannon S. Hunt. My Instagram is Shannon_S_Hunt. And you guys can follow me.
Hey, once again, I go by the name of GeHolla. It ain't Gula, ain't Kuala, ain't GeHolla, but GeHolla. And hey, that's all I got to say. Holla, holla.
Holla, holla.